Here we go with another edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. This is the edition for Tuesday evening, October the 27th. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about this evening. We've got a big rain and wind event about to unfold, and then we've got some ups and downs in the temperature department to talk about at the end of the week, into the weekend, and into next week. So let's get right to the details. Show you what's going on as I record this video a little after 7 p.m. Here's what the radar looked like. Not going to spend a lot of time on this. It'll be outdated pretty fast, but the rain was starting to slowly approach the atmosphere, moistening up this evening out ahead of kind of the main batch of rain. The rain definitely gets steadier and heavier down towards the Ohio River Valley, the lower Ohio Valley, I should say. And again, there's a pretty good wall of rain tracking our way tonight. This is partly the remnants of Hurricane Patricia. Remember, that's what slammed into Mexico late last week. And also an area of low pressure, just a regular storm system. They're kind of merging into one and creating a pretty good, pretty healthy storm across the region this evening, and that process will continue overnight into tomorrow. Let's talk about the timing of the rain here, take off the current information, and bring up our high-resolution computer model, the high-resolution rapid refresh. This is a model that updates every hour. It takes into account what's on the radar, and of course it has other equations and physics built into it as well. And it only goes out 15 hours, so this is just a real short-range model, but it usually does pretty good in the short term. Here's the simulated radar this evening at 10. Now the leading edge of this up here is probably not reaching the ground at 10, but I can see where most of our viewing area is seeing at least some light rain around 10 p.m. When most of us are in bed tonight, middle of the night at 3 a.m., raining at a light to moderate clip across the viewing area. And as most people are getting up at a more humane hour tomorrow morning, here's 7 a.m. Rain, no surprise. This will be light to moderate. Occasionally there could be a burst of heavier rain around daybreak tomorrow. Notice the batch of real heavy rain, or at least moderate rain, across western Ohio at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, getting set to push east. The rain is a story. The wind is a story as well. Check out our high-res model wind speeds here at the surface tomorrow morning. You get into some of these blue colors. We're into the 20s to maybe around 30 miles per hour. There could be a gust to 35 or 40 mixed in. These are sustained winds first thing tomorrow morning. But anyway, as I switch over to the NAM model and show you its simulated radar tomorrow, now by midday, the rain probably tries to become a little more scattered in nature, a little more hit or miss. There'll be a few breaks, but still, we're going to be under the gun to get wet at just about any point tomorrow. And it's interesting, as we get into the mid-afternoon tomorrow, the actual cold front will be getting ready to come through, and there's going to be a window of an hour or two where there might actually be some thunder mixed in here. We're not looking at a lot of instability at all. Here's the CAPE values, convective available potential energy. There's just a little tongue of blue in here, where there's a couple of hundred joules of CAPE. That means it is a little bit unstable, maybe unstable enough to support some thunder here and there tomorrow, but not looking at a lot across the viewing area. But if there is a thunderstorm in spots, it could bring down some stronger winds tomorrow afternoon. In general, it'll be a little less windy tomorrow afternoon than the morning, but the exception would be in any thunderstorms. They could produce some pretty hefty wind gusts tomorrow afternoon. So we're going to be on the lookout for that. The threat for any thunder only lasts an hour or two, then just some leftover showers into tomorrow evening. Again, I want to talk about the wind somewhat here. Upstairs in the atmosphere, boy, it's a good thing that these winds will not be readily available to come all the way down to the surface, because this is a really impressive, what we call low-level jet, a fast-moving river of air, not up at 30,000 feet where we usually expect it, but more so down at 5,000 feet. These wind speeds at 5,000 feet tomorrow are up around 80, 90, 100 miles per hour. That's only 5,000 feet in the air. That's not very high up. If this were the middle of summer, we'd be really concerned about some of this wind energy getting down to the surface. With the rain tomorrow morning kind of stabilizing the atmosphere, we're not going to see a lot of that energy being able to be pulled down from 5,000 feet. Now, some of the wind speeds up at, say, 2,000 feet, they could be pulled down. And that's why we're looking at wind gusts probably of 40 to 45 as opposed to 80 or 90, like they're going to see up at 5,000 feet. Good thing, again, we don't live at 5,000 feet in elevation. There's a reason why there's a wind advisory up along the lakeshore, up east of Cleveland into Erie, Pennsylvania. The winds will be strongest up there. Also in the mountains of Pennsylvania, east of Pittsburgh. Wind advisories down there. There are actually high wind warnings off the lake up in Buffalo and western New York. That wind coming off the lake, there's less friction to slow it down. and those are the places the wind speeds will be particularly high during the course of the day tomorrow. We're looking at a pretty good, through tomorrow evening, a pretty good inch to inch and a half worth of rain. Here's the National Weather Service rainfall totals showing our viewing area generally kind of in the inch and a half range. I think 2 inches is on the table for maybe a few spots. A few spots could try to pick up 2 inches worth of rain, especially if you get a thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon. But a good average, I think, will be about an inch and a half. Once we get through tomorrow afternoon, we'll be through the worst of the weather, but I do think there can be some residual showers into tomorrow night. Here's tomorrow night, spotty showers here and there. As we go into Thursday, especially first thing in the morning, there could be another band of showers pushing through. I think largely Thursday is a dry day. We'll even see some sun, but it's going to be windy, and it's going to be chilly. Temperatures won't move much on Thursday. And then a secondary front comes through late Thursday into Thursday night, bringing us another bank of clouds, maybe a sprinkle Thursday night. And Friday probably starts with clouds. We'll try to squeeze in some sun towards the end of the day on Friday. Real quick word on Halloween, trick or treat. Saturday evenings looking better on today's computer models. Here's the GFS right around trick or treat time Saturday evening, suggesting that there's some showers out in western Ohio, but we should, it looks like, be dry, albeit fairly cloudy. Saturday evening. Not super cold either. It'll probably be in the lower 50s, right around trick-or-treat time Saturday evening. Now, if you're heading out to an adult Halloween party later Saturday night, might run into a couple of raindrops then. All right, the longer range real quick here. The big story for next week as we transition into November is a big pattern change. Cool trough out west and a big, for November, ridge setting up over Florida and the Gulf Coast. This is going to pump in some warmth, excuse me, and I think middle of next week, right around Wednesday, I wouldn't be shocked if we had a 70-degree reading in some places, a good maybe 15 degrees above average, maybe even a little better than that for a couple of days anyway, middle of next week. So November starting out on a warm note next week, and the month as a whole, November, will probably end up being close to or somewhat above average. That's the way it's looking right now. All right, winter forecast, 2 days away, 21 News at 11. We'll do that on TV, and then tomorrow evening, as long as the weather isn't too busy, I will do the Weather Geek version of the winter forecast, a little early preview for those loyal viewers of my online videos. We'll do the forecast a day early for you here on Weather for Weather Geeks tomorrow evening. All right, fresh radar updates and everything else you need to know throughout the evening on social media, and I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 11. Thanks for watching.